Well, ladies and gentlemen, I always love a wordsmith, and we have an author on today, which is exciting for me. I always love to talk to somebody who can spin a tale. This is Dr. Carolyn Stegman, and your book is The Sages of Oak Place. Now,
yes.
Two things I want to mention before we get too far into things, Carolyn. One, you're local. You're from the Salisbury area.
Salisbury area, Delmarva Peninsula, yes.
So before we even get to what your book is about, I want to know what kind of challenge it is to get a book published coming from this area. Like what is the process? What is the good and the bad of it?
Well, I discovered Saltwater Media, which is down in Berlin, Maryland. And so when I got my manuscript done, I went down to them and I said, please, let's go. And they read it and then helped me do it, and every step of the way, and they're still there. They're still helping me with my website and so on. So you can publish books in rural areas or in small towns, and it's wonderful.
I love to hear that. It's very encouraging for any writers that might be out there. Now let's talk about your actual book.
Okay.
What is sort of the purpose of this book? What is the story, and what kind of genre are we in?
We're in a genre of aging. There are over 60 million people over 65 in this country. That's upwards to 20%. And while many of them are healthy and vigorous, eventually they get older and frail. And yet we don't really have the services for them. And Oak Place, if you can just picture like a college campus or a beautiful complex, and in the middle are these gardens with flowers and vegetables and dogs and cats and even a miniature horse. And there's a theater and there's an educational center where they can take everything from pottery to Shakespeare. And there's choirs and singing. There's even an 85-year-old Elvis impersonator. And so there's music and laughter, there's a piano bar, and people go there to really live the last years of their life and not just curl up and wait for their final curtain call. But it's a story that we try and get some of these older persons to tell because they've lived extraordinary lives. I mean, granted, they might not have gone to the moon or got a Pulitzer Prize, but still what they have done, your grandmother or my grandmother or just older people, is extraordinary. And so we ask them and we encourage them to share their stories, because the death of an elder is like the burning of a library.
Yes,
and so
it's the loss of the Library of Alexandria. It is all this information and
absolutely.
all this life experience that you suddenly don't have access to anymore.
That's right. And if you don't know their stories, you might never know them. And so a lot in the book is discovering some of their stories. And yes, there's some feisty characters. I just love it. Stella is one of the major characters, and she's there and she has helped to stop apartheid in Africa. And I won't get too much into that, and Hal is a homeless veteran who lives basically with a miniature horse, and he eventually gets the mental health that he needs. But for the most part, people are just working in the gardens. They volunteer a lot to read to other people, help other people, and so it's a community of giving and sharing. And that's what's so wonderful about it. That's why I get so excited about the book.
Well, I love the entire conceit of the book, and apparently so do a whole bunch of other people, because this now is going to be made into something different, something bigger. Take us through the process of what that is.
Gold Production Company out of Hollywood, California, has optioned the book for a 8-part miniseries. And I'm so excited because I'm so excited that Hollywood has finally discovered that older persons have a real story that's of interest to the public, and that they can tell their stories, and people are going to want to listen, and they're going to want to look at it, and they're going to want to look at some of the challenges that older people have, some of the good things about it, and also some of the challenges as you face your mortality.
And I just saw an interview actually with Candice Bergen. She's right now on The Gilded Age, and she was talking about actually how her career, unlike most women in Hollywood, her career really took off as she got older. She was like, got her first big stuff in her 40s, got bigger in her 50s, bigger in her 60s, and now she's in her early 70s. And so there are plenty of people that are great actors and actresses out there that can fill these roles. They just need the opportunity.
That's exactly right. I want the 70-year-olds, I want the 80-year-olds, I want them all to come out. And I know as a retired professor that we never want to stop teaching or never want to stop doing this. I mean, work just turns me on and winds me up in the morning and does stuff like that. And so I know that there's people out there that would just be tremendous and add to this. So we're hoping that we get started real soon.
Well, I am hoping that we get to see this on the screen at some point, but the book's in existence now. So if anybody wants to go get it, where do they go? How do they get their hands on it?
Yes, Amazon.com or Barnes & Noble, or you can go to CarolynStegman.com and get it in any of those places, and that's my website.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here on the couch.
It's been a pleasure.
You got a fantastic story. You're telling a great tale. We really appreciate it. So if you're somebody out there looking for maybe your next book, reach forward and grab it here. This is the one you should grab. Maybe have one of your book clubs or something. Read it, discuss it. It's a local author. You just can't go wrong. So we appreciate, again, you being on the couch with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we have more Coast Life coming up after the break. Don't go anywhere. The show continues.